The evening sky glowed with a fading amber light. A little girl named Alina held her mother's trembling hand. They walked along the hospital corridor with slow, careful steps. The air felt heavy with the quiet hum of machines. Alina squeezed her mother's hand tighter, afraid to let go. Her mother, Layla, whispered that everything would be all right, but her voice wavered like a fragile leaf in the wind. When they reached the examination room, Layla's strength failed. Alina cried out, but nurses rushed forward to catch her mother. Alina stood frozen, watching as her world tilted like breaking glass. Her heart thudded in her chest as she whispered, "Please help my mom." The doctor asked her name gently, trying to calm her shaking fear. Alina answered with trembling lips, holding back tears. She stayed by the door, listening as voices inside grew urgent. Her small hands pressed against the cold metal, praying for a miracle. The doctor stepped out and knelt to Alina's eye level. He asked if she had family to call, but she shook her head. Her father had left years ago, and her mother was all she had. The doctor named Rayan placed a warm hand on her shoulder. He promised he would try his best to save her mother. Alina clung to that promise as though it were a lifeline. She followed him into the emergency room, gripping bravery tightly. Layla lay on the bed, breathing unevenly, her skin pale and fragile. Alina whispered, "Please do not let my mom die," her voice thin as mist. Her plea struck Rayan deeply, awakening memories of his own childhood. He remembered begging doctors to save his mother long ago. Her voice merged with Alina's as if time had folded in on itself. Determination surged within him like a rising tide. He called for more assistance, his voice sharpened with urgency. Alina watched every movement, afraid to blink or breathe. Time blurred around her like shifting shadows. Nurses moved swiftly, adjusting tubes and monitors. Rayan instructed them with calm authority, though fear gnawed at him. He explained softly to Alina that her mother was very weak. Alina nodded, though she barely understood. All she knew was the ache swelling inside her. She took her mother's cold hand, whispering stories about their home, the little garden, the promises they made. Layla's fingers twitched as though she heard her daughter's voice. Rayan noticed and urged Alina to keep speaking. Her voice filled the room with trembling hope. It wrapped around Layla like a gentle blanket. As machines beeped with delicate rhythm, Rayan continued his work. Sweat glistened on his forehead, but his resolve never wavered. Alina watched every breath her mother took, counting each one like treasure. Hours passed, though Alina could not measure time anymore. Her thoughts drifted between fear and fragile hope. Rayan stepped away to check charts near the window. Alina approached him, slowly tugging at his sleeve. She whispered again with a voice both brave and broken, "Please do not let my mom die." Rayan looked down and saw the raw honesty in her eyes. He felt a deep ache inside, as though her fear were his own. He promised again that he would not give up. Alina returned to her mother's side, wiping her tears with her sleeve. She hummed a lullaby her mother used to sing. The sound wrapped through the room, soft and warm. A nurse smiled sadly, murmuring that Alina was very strong. Strength rose in the girl like quiet sunlight, shaping her courage. She kissed her mother's hand and held it close against her cheeks. Dawn approached. The air outside turned pale with morning light. Inside the room, the tension thickened with every breath. Rayan examined Layla again, noticing small signs of change. Her heartbeat steadied little by little like a faint drum. He adjusted her oxygen and continued treatments tirelessly. Alina leaned against the edge of the bed, whispering, "Please stay." The girl's eyes, red from crying, watched every slight movement. Her mother's eyelashes fluttered, sending a spark of hope across the room. Rayan saw it and felt a surge of relief, though he kept his focus. He spoke softly to Alina, telling her that her mother was fighting. The words were like water to a thirsty heart. She straightened with renewed courage, gripping her mother's hand again. Hope flickered alive like a candle in darkness. The room breathed softer as the morning strengthened. Alina fell asleep with her head resting against her mother's arm. She dreamed of warm sunlight, of laughter, of her mother smiling. When she opened her eyes, Rayan stood nearby, reviewing charts. He told her gently that her mother was still unstable but improving. Alina whispered thank you with sincerity, glowing like morning dew. Rayan felt something shift inside him, a quiet stirring of purpose. He had seen many patients, but Alina's unwavering love moved him deeply. Layla's breaths grew steadier, the color slowly returning to her cheeks. Alina brushed her mother's hair softly, speaking to her. She told her about the garden, the little swing, the promises they kept. Rayan listened quietly, feeling the room fill with quiet peace. Every word was a thread weaving life back into Layla. The air filled with warmth and hope like a slow rising sun. Alina held her mother's hand close, breathing with her. Later that day, Layla stirred faintly, her fingers tightening around Alina's hand. Alina gasped, a soft sound of joy rising in her chest. Rayan hurried over, examining Layla with careful eyes. Her eyelids opened slightly, revealing tired but living light. Alina felt tears spill down her cheeks, sparkling like tiny stars. She whispered that she was right here, that she never left. Layla looked at her daughter with love, struggling to speak. Rayan reassured them both with a warm, calm presence. The nurses smiled, happy to see the fragile miracle unfolding. Alina kept her hand on her mother's heart, feeling its steady rhythm. Hope blossomed through her like a field of wildflowers. She whispered again, "Thank you for staying with me, Mama." Her mother squeezed her hand, once weak but meaningful. Rayan stepped back quietly, giving them their moment. Layla drifted back to sleep, but her breathing stayed steady and strong. Alina rested beside her, watching her mother's chest rise and fall. Her whisper from earlier still echoed in the room like a promise. "Please do not let my mom die." Rayan stood near the door, watching the peaceful scene. A deep sense of fulfillment settled within him, shaped by compassion. He knew this day would stay with him for years. The girl who refused to give up taught him the purest kind of hope. Alina sat with her mother, humming softly, letting love fill the silence. The morning light touched her face with gentle warmth, and the world around them shifted into the quiet strength of healing.